I always feel such a great sense of pride and excitement when we actually go live because we're 6 minutes late and it's no one's fault except for technology and it's Monday. So I even feel like technology has a case of the Mondays sometimes. So
Oh,
so
good, good morning. I love Mondays. Mondays are my jam.
why?
I just, I love a fresh start. Like I love a fresh week. When a Monday, like the first Monday lands on like the first day of a new month, it's like golden hour for me. I love it. I love it.
Awesome. It's a really great perspective. I remember reading a long time ago, like Mondays don't suck, your job sucks. So when you love your job or when you love your life, Mondays are. They're like an opportunity and a fun new start.
Yeah.
So
And I like no matter what, however I end my week, I'm like a Monday's coming and like I'll
yeah.
start again and it'll be great.
Yeah.
I'll keep going. If it's a great week, I'm like, yes, okay.
Let's ride this wave. Let's keep going. I love it. Well, this is some good energy to start off with. I'm really excited to be here for the 7th Facebook Live in a week, technically 8 days. But I'm so excited for you all to meet another one of our coaches, Jessica Roehm Mays. And she's been so patient because she is the last Facebook Live that we are doing here. And she's also been like just ragingly supportive. Like she's been on every other Facebook Live. She's commented on people's. So if she has new things to say, I'll be really impressed because we have been talking. We've asked the same 5 questions to every single person for the last 6 days. And this is lucky number 7. You are the completion of these Facebook Lives, Jess. And I just want to say one more thing about Jessica. So Jessica and I had never met in real life. We actually have never been together in person. Like I've never physically hugged her body. It has always been on a screen like this that we have connected. But I was introduced to her, gosh, a couple of years ago, probably at least there was like the social connections and commenting on things. And then she joined our coaching certification training. And I was so impressed with this woman. And impressed is such a fluffy, kind of ego-centered word. What I mean by this is I thought this woman's, she's got something special. There is something unique and beautiful and powerful. And it comes from her story for sure, and how she has lived into her story. And so when we were forming this first team of coaches for Ezer Co, you know, Jess is a newer coach, but man, and she's a younger coach, but she is an old soul, a rich, deep human who has experienced a lot of loss and a lot of tragedy. And in the midst of all of that has found an anchor and a center and a weight, and has done her work. And she's an Enneagram 7. And so that's not always the easiest thing to do for a 7 is to go to the hard places and do the work. But I've seen her do it, which makes for such an incredible combo, like just like this 1-2 punch with coaching. And so I'm really excited for you to hear the answers to her 5 questions this morning. And so happy to introduce you all to Jessica Roehm Mays. Jess, yes, thank you.
Well, thank you, April. That was very kind.
I mean it. I don't say fluffy, stupid things about people. I say what I mean. So
You know, you're authentic, and that's why I hear it. It just rings because it's like if April's saying it, then it's truth. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, 5 questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First question. It's not like any of these are surprise. You've heard them 7 times now. First question is, tell us about the breakdown or the breakthrough, or kind of what was the impetus for you to become a coach?
So like you said, we never have met physically. Like, well, technically I saw you physically at
that's true.
You were a keynote at a youth conference in Texas and Perkins when I went. And so I saw you in person. And I think you signed my book in person.
I think yes.
And then I was like, I gotta follow this lady all over on social media because I hear what she's saying. And so that's how it began for me is with coaching is that I just kind of watched Ezer Co as a baby and like what your dreams were. And you were just so authentic and owning it and like owning both struggle and real and the transformation. Like it was just like all out there. And there's a lot of companies, like for example, like you said, I've gone through a lot of loss. And so in that loss, I have sought out many different areas of healing and help. And I always kind of followed you, right? And I'm like listening to coaching, and I'm like, okay, they certify people. I'm just like on the edge, and then, but it kept presenting itself, and I mean, for me, God, I really, really, God speaks to me, and I like see it, and sometimes He just hammers it into me because I'm unwilling to listen. And so it just kept coming up, coming up, coming up, and I'm like, this is not normal. Like I see a lot of things, and it keeps coming up. Then I have been in youth ministry for 14 years and in camp ministry. So like literally since I was a youth, I like walked right into it.
Same.
I love it. But I was like looking for something to broaden my leadership is how I actually came to it. I was like, what can I do to broaden my leadership? And here it is, Ezer Co again, April Diaz again, in your inbox, in your face. And I'm like, oh, they're offering certification. I'm listening. And it was that caught me, that I was like, this is actually a different type of leadership. This is a different type of understanding areas in your life that are functional and teachable in a way that causes reactive change and like transformation, not like here's a thread of books, read them, implement what you want, like hopefully you take away something out of all the words and all the mess. It's a way of saying, framing out where you're at, what you're doing, and then where you're going from there. And that's what I love about it. It's not like a step-by-step program, like 1, 2, 3, and you graduated and you're done. It's like, no, we're going to teach you how to do this in every aspect of your life, building it out. So that's what caught my attention. And then I joined, and it was 2020. And so then life was crazy, but that's why, because it was inviting in a way that was building something out. And that is different than a lot of areas that I've seen before.
Okay, so we're going to switch the questions around because you've already teased this a little bit, but you can say a couple more things about it if you want. And question 3 that we're now making question 2 is, what is different about Azer Co's coaching? Because I agree with you, it is different. There's a lot of coaching out there. Most of it is reactive, advice-based, experientially based, or, like, here's the curriculum. And we have some of that. We have a curriculum, we have a process. But how would you describe the difference with Azer Co's coaching?
So I was thinking about, again, I've watched all 6 before me, and so I'm listening, but that's it right there. Like when you're asking this question, I listened to 6 other women who are coaches in this coming up company that is like beautiful and aspiring and building, and they're all different. One, that is like the biggest thing.
The women are different.
The women are different.
Yeah.
The story, the answering of the questions is different, similar in some aspects, but different, because Ezer Co brings that element of diversity, not only in the women that are serving in these areas and being coaches and being coached, but in the way that we offer the dimensions of life as a whole. And I was thinking about this because my first health reach, I guess, if you will, after I lost my husband and my son, was physical. Like I started working out, and because I didn't want to be on like medication, or there's addiction in my family, so I was like really nervous about that response, and so I started working out. That was my release. And I remember just I go to Body Combat every Monday, like it's ingrained, and I like work it out. And I love my coach there because I'm in this body it's made up of women. There's some men, great. But like, there's this powerful energy about being together and united. Ezer Co presents that. We have this united, amazing community that is fighting for all women, all people, men, like all diversities of humans to become their whole self. And so we offer that energy that especially women love. Like I know women, and women love to be energized. It's either competition or like fully together, I feel like, in energy. You offer that. Like Ezer Co offers, like I said, the diversity, the empowerment in a group, the transformation, and the fact that it's not a one-stop shop. It is a continued growth over the lifetime of your existence. And that's what I love too, because life doesn't just start and end today or this month, and that you don't only have one thing you're going to work through. This sets you up for success for continuing it throughout the rest of your life. And you're going to need it. That's the thing. you're not buying a product for right now. You're investing in an opportunity for experiencing transformation and forever. You're setting yourself up with tools, and that's huge. And a lot of places don't offer that. And usually they're targeted in one area. It's
Yeah.
amazing that you have created an opportunity for all the dimensions, which is very unusual.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it special, and that's what makes it unique. And that's
Gosh,
what makes
that's
it
so good. I feel like I need to get you in front of a camera to like make a commercial or something. 'Cause
I'm
you're the embodiment of it, right? Like that's a part of it, is like every single person that is on our team is a living, breathing example of the work, you know, of the investment, of the participation, of the change that has happened in your life. And I just feel like I could listen to you all day long, because I just think, like, I look at you, Jess, and I go, I'm imagining like this company of warriors, of women who are like you, but uniquely themselves. Like we
yeah.
don't do the cookie cutter thing. We are not doing the one size fits all. We are not like self-help gurus. We are not a pretentious, you know, executive coaching group that like is designed for men and built for men, but like we kind of slip into, like, there's something very uniquely per woman, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, listening to you, it makes me happy. It fills me with pride and joy to know, like, you're the tip of the spear and the tip of the iceberg. And there's like a whole slew of women that are going to come behind you, that are going to walk in the journey that you are walking in, that I am walking in. And that's really great. So, okay, we got to keep moving. Question number 3, which is number 2. Tell us something that's unique, quirky, funny
Oh my gosh.
about you.
Um, so there's a lot. I'm a 7. There's a lot of things that are quirky and unique about me. One thing is I really love Harry Potter. Like I love the Harry Potter series.
Who's your
The
favorite
books.
character?
Oh my gosh. My favorite character is Luna, of course. I love Luna Lovegood. I love her. I think when I think about like even like an Ezer girl, like that's what I think about. I'm like, she owns who she is, her quirks, but then she's so strong, and she shows up and she like owns her spot, and she like finds this like way of like just like she just seeks out happy and good, but like we'll fight, you know, and like we'll show up and like we'll be there. And I'm like, yes, I love her.
Oh, that's so awesome. I'm gonna look at her differently now, because I've always liked her too, because she's actually, I have a niece named Luna, and so I've always liked her just because I have a niece named Luna. But I'm gonna look at that differently now. That's really fun. I would also say something that's fun and quirky about you is that like you have chickens, and like you live on a farm, and like you're fully growing like this little sustainable place that can serve disenfranchised and under-resourced communities. And I
Yes,
really love that about you. It's
I
not
know.
weird, it's just beautiful.
It,
But it is like you're in this little spot in Colorado that's like altogether different from my SoCal.
yes, it's so fun, and it's a big learning curve. And my thumb is half black, like it's a green and then half black. So it's like when you know you have a green thumb, it's like you can grow
Yeah,
and produce
yeah,
everything. When you have a black thumb, you kill everything. Guess what? Like I'm half, because I'm still learning how to grow, because I killed a whole lot of things before this, but I'm determined and I'm gonna grow it. It's gonna be amazing.
I think that'll preach. All right, cool. So we've also been talking about some of the problems that women face, and why coaching is a really great solution, a really great opportunity for women in the problems that we face. Again, we're not solving people's problems. Like, I don't think you're a problem to be solved. But I do think that there's some challenges, some unique issues that we face, some stuff that we've got to work through in order for us to live and lead with wholeness. And so when I was thinking about you, I thought you'd be so great to talk for a minute about just the problems of like not enough, fill in the blank. So talk to us just for a minute about the not enoughness.
Um, so initially, like when again, I was resistant to what this was for a long time. And a lot of that was because I have 2 boys at home. Okay. I have a 2-year-old and a 10-month-old. So they're very close together. They're really busy right now. So that's a lot of work. And so I'm like, I don't have enough time between being a full-time youth director, a wife of a firefighter who is on a schedule that is not consistent, not normal, and then 2 babies. I got babies, okay? And that's a lot of work. And so time for me was always, I always use it as an excuse of saying, like, I just don't think I have enough time. Like, but I'm going to be cliche in that we do have time for the things that we want to make time for.
Mhm.
And I had to come to that ownership of that. And I've done that. And even now, though, I mean, I still have to figure out, my husband's keyword to me is, honey, how's your time management? I'm a 7. How's your time management? Well, it's working on it, but I get it done and it's amazing. And I'm learning how to fill up my time and with things like this that give me life and that make me feel good and produce something well in me instead of draining me. Then, I think about money. I mean, money is a big deal. Everybody's, especially with 2020, and the ups and downs that came with it. When I wanted to do this coaching, like my husband and I talked about like how we're going to pay out of our pocket. And then I was like, you know what? No, this is an opportunity that can create leadership, like in my life and in my work. I'm going to go to my work. I'm going to say, you know what? I am a key person in here. I'm a leader in this church, and I need you to invest in me, because that's what makes it about, like investing in yourself and making others believe and know that you are an investment, because you are. And so the first step is like facing that limited belief of saying that I am not worthy of this and they're not going to invest in me, and owning it and say, yes, you are. Because if I'm doing better, we're all doing better, because that's key. So money, of course, was a problem. So I was like, nope, I'm just going to ask. And guess what? I asked, and I had to get it from 2 different areas. We have a scholarship for furthering education in our church. I applied. Then I was like, hey, Pastor Steve, I need the church to pay for the rest of this as my, as me becoming a person for our church, a leader for our church, even more. He said, okay. So that was hard for a while, just to be able to, those are 2 huge points in anybody's life.
Yeah.
The last thing I would say for my biggest problem was thinking things are cliche. There's, like I said, there's so many options out there. There's personal training, there's, nutritionists, there's life coaching, there's spiritual coach. I mean, there's therapy, there's so many things. And I've done a lot of them because I believe that people have gifts and that can serve you individually in certain areas. Like, that's how we grow. And we're people. I do human really well. Like, I love humans. Okay. So when I watch people get results, whether it's weight loss, whether it's life coaching, whether it's going to college and educating yourself and learning a trade school, I'm like, this is the same type of pattern for everybody in the world, no matter what you're looking at it. Yeah. Okay. So what's going to work for me? This is going to work for me because I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what I want to receive. And if I buy into myself, that's what it's all about. April's not going to change my life because April's going to change April's life. I'm not going to change your life if you're watching because I'm here. No, you're going to change your life. And that was the problem I had to realize in myself, is that these are just tools for me to do the work. That's why I bought in, because it made sense that way. It's not cliche. You're like, everything you're doing then is cliche, So like, and I feel like that was my biggest problem, is getting beyond that. Like, and when I got past it, I've grown immensely and my life has shifted. So
I think that is powerful. That is powerful what you just said, because yes, the investment that we make in ourselves, it pays itself out like for generations really to come.
Literally.
And, I've said a couple of times that the root word for wholeness is healing. And I don't think that anybody has a problem to be solved. Anybody has like issues that we're going to fix. I actually believe that you have everything in you to fully become who it is that you've been created to be. And what we get to do in coaching and in these groups is to come alongside and to help awaken the life that is within you, the gifts and the passions and the dreams that you have in you, and then to see that like unleashed in the world. And so, I mean, yes, we're not giving you, we're not fixing anything. We're not changing anything. It's in you. You got it. And we get to like really just testify, like we get to stand and see and witness what happens. And
encourage.
Oh my gosh, there has to be encouragement, because it is hard work, but it's hard whether you do the work or you don't do the work. It's hard in different ways.
Exactly.
So you might as well do the work and get the result rather than live in the hard and the suck of what is not quite yet. So
Yeah.
I love how you said all that. All right, last question. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What is something that you hope for every woman that participates in your coaching group?
Oh my gosh, this makes me emotional. It really does. Makes me emotional because I hope that women, no matter what you've walked through or what you've experienced, because we're all come from different backgrounds and different history and different tragedies or different, achievements, that I hope for these women to find within themselves like the gifts and the talents and the wholeness that each one should feel. Like this is a opportunity to serve yourself. And I feel as women in our world, like we always tend to serve others first because that's just our natural, that's nature. It's like we are created to love and to serve and to help and to raise up people. That's just like who God created us to be. But then God created us ourselves to also feel that same way. And so, and to be able to live into that same way and to be able to like literally shower in that same amount of love and service and ownership for ourselves. And my hope is that we create a shift in the world that allows women to feel that. Because it's an amazing feeling, no matter what you've gone through, and it's an amazing gift that radiates like out. It just goes, and it's like continuous. It's like ripple, and I pray that this is a generational shift too. That our daughters can feel this. That when they come up, that they feel not entitled, that they feel embraced, and they feel owned in the way of their ownership of themselves and who they're allowed to project and give to the world. It needs to be a shift. And I think that this is where it begins. And so my hope is that shift starts to happen and that from that, the world just changes in a way that is so powerful and so loving and so enriched with the beauty that women are created to be.
Yeah.
So
amen to that.
So and it makes me emotional because I felt it and I feel it and I see it happening.
Yeah.
And so I want everyone to join, like I'm like, I'm here saying it because I feel it and I know what's coming and I need you to jump on because I want everybody on.
Yeah. We need you to jump on. Yeah. For your sake, for your daughter's sake, for your niece's sake. But first and foremost, for your sake, we need
one for the mothers, the women ahead before you, for them.
Yeah.
We're pieces of them. And if they didn't get to shine their light, like here we can now. Yeah. We can bring in what they taught us and shine for them even brighter. Like I love that.
I love that too. All right. Jess has got 10 spots in her group. Her group is not starting until June. So if you're connecting and resonating with her, but you're like, May is not doable, June is going to be her start. So you have a couple of different things that you can do to take a next step right now. The first is you can schedule a activation coaching call with her. It's 25 minutes. It's free. It's just a couple of questions and giving you some space to hear about if this is the right thing for you. We want to make sure that you are ready, that this is right. We don't want to just take your money. We want to see you experience transformation. So schedule that call with her. Comment below. We'll tag a link in there a little bit later. But schedule that activation call. And then the second thing we want you to do is to join our wait list and do that like right now, because tonight, whatever, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we are going to do a launch party for our coaching groups. And here's the thing, we have, here's the thing. So we are going to open up registration this week only until Friday for people that are on the wait list and those that have completed Activate Your Goals. However, the number of women that are on those lists already that have signed up for that, committed to those two things, are more than the spots that we have in our group. So being on the wait list is an important deal if you're like, I think I need to do this, because if you're on the wait list, you're going to get that early registration option. Otherwise, registration opens on April the 1st for whatever spots are left and whatever groups are open. So join the wait list right now. Come to the party tonight. We've got a few different ways for you to get involved and for you to take a next step. But take the next step, whatever it is that you need to do, take the next step because you're worth it and because your life depends on it. So,
well, and I just want to say one more thing. For my people, you're going to be watching this, but these women beyond me, these women, these other 8 women that are in this group of pushing out this first coaching group, the coaches are amazing. They're phenomenal. They're, do yourself a favor, go to the website, read their bios, learn who they are, go back to the previous lives and learn them, because it's also key and important that you're not just comfortable with like me because you know me, but like that you're gonna find a coach that like speaks to you and who you are. And I think that these women are phenomenal. And so if you can and you find one of them, sign up under them. Like sign up under them, find your niche with them, hear them, because they're all amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Again, like just to be building a team of people, of women that are not about their little kingdom or protecting their little space. We want to be an abundance driven company because there is more than enough for all of us. So thank you. I love you. I am so proud of you. I'm so excited for the 10 women that are going to be in your group. So take a next step today, y'all. Schedule that call, join the wait list, tag a friend who needs to see this, and it is going to be life-changing. The best is yet to come. Have a great Monday.